Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
Where we give you the courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to catch us every Friday at 7 p.m. on the Friday Fix. And every Sunday at 1 p.m. on our Sunday Town Hall that you can come in there and say whatever you want to say politically. No screaming or yelling or name calling. We just have a discussion. Senior Wesley, as long as I'm still allowed to say Senior Wesley, how have you been?
I'm good, man. It's getting kind of hectic already. I mean, we're starting to see our First Amendment rights get encroached upon. ICE arrests Palestinian activists who led Columbia University protest. Mahmoud Khalil, a prominent Palestinian activist who helped lead Columbia University 2024 student encampment protest, was arrested in New York City by federal immigration authorities who claimed they were acting on a State Department order to revoke his green card, according to his attorney. Khalil was at his university-owned apartment blocks from the Columbia's Manhattan campus Saturday night when several immigration and customs enforcement agents entered the building and took him into custody. Amy Greer, his attorney, told the Associated Press. One of the ICE agents told Greer by the phone that they were executing a State Department order to revoke Khalil's student visa. Informed by their attorney that Khalil, who graduated in December, was in the U.S. as a permanent resident with a green card, the agent said they were revoking that too, according to Greer. In a statement to CBS News, the Department of Homeland Security said Khalil's arrest was in support of President Trump's executive orders prohibiting anti-Semitism, alleging that the former student-led activist aligned to Hamas. The department did not provide details of any charges or alleged allegations. After the arrest of Khalil, Secretary of State Marco Rubio posted on social media, we will be revoking the visas and or green cards of Hamas supporters in America so they can be deported.
You know, it's... How do we start with this? We reported on this before. Remember how, wasn't it the House that passed the law saying you couldn't even say anything bad about Israel or Jewish people, period.
Yep.
And even Republicans came out and said, yo, the law they passed, and it passed, ladies and gentlemen, was so vague, you would have to get rid of the Christian Bible because that's how vague it was.
Yep.
And so, I mean, you kind of see who runs the government. That's crazy. This man he's a legal citizen now. He has a green card.
Yeah.
He's allowed to be here. But now he's getting deported because supposedly if you want Gaza to live and the Palestinians to live, you're anti-Semitic. That means you're against Israel. That's a foreign government, folks. And a foreign government has enough leeway and enough muscle to make it so they can take away your freedom of speech in America.
Benjamin Netanyahu came in front of a joint session of Congress. That's the House and the Senate. Sat here and he basically said Americans are dumb, they're this, they're that, the ones who are protesting, they're dim-witted, whatever else, and called American citizens these names for exercising their First Amendment right to free speech, you know what I mean, and also their rights to protest. And they were not protesting non-peacefully. I mean, and so I'm listening to this right now, and these people right now are saying that they're going to kick these people out the country who have green cards, who've been here, who hasn't committed any crime at all whatsoever, for exercising a right that's given to all Americans, even people who come here who are not here, who are just visiting here. They have a right to. Everyone in this country has a right to free speech. That just is what it is.
And also, you know, not to cut you off, but they're not protesting against America. You know, I can see that. Hey, you say something bad about America, you here, you need to go. They're protesting a foreign nation. Now, here in America, it's okay to be side Ukraine, side Russia, right? No, the media don't care nothing about that, right? Nothing at all. But once you start trying to support Gaza and the Palestinians, then you're the problem.
It's even worse that, I mean, we can talk about America in this country. You can burn the American flag if you choose to. That is what America is for. Your freedoms are what people went out and fought for. People try to use that as, hey, you're disrespecting the armed services. No, they went out and fought for you to have that freedom to speak up when you feel like there's some kind of tyrannical thing in your government. You speak up and say something about it. This is what this country was based off of. And this young man is being persecuted right now. And we're sitting by and watching. Do I believe there should be more protests across America? Yes. I would call for that. Every city, we should be protesting this immediately. Not just because he's a Palestinian or whatever else. Just the fact of the matter, it starts here. You dip your toe in the water and see how it reacts.
Yeah.
If there's piranha in the water, if we come out and we bite, they'll get that toe right up out of there real quick, and we letting them know something. But we'll also keep in mind, remember this. This is who this man is. He is an authoritarian figure. This is what he's bringing to the government. Pretty soon we're gonna figure it out, because I mean they brought out police officers and everything else to control us from even saying, hey, this isn't right. And he's going to let them do whatever they want, because he's saying that if anyone hurts a police officer, if anything happens whatsoever, not saying we want to hurt police officers, but the fact of the matter is he wants to give them freedom of, he wants to give them immunity. So there's no repercussions for what they do.
Even with that, folks, let's just be blunt about everything. A lot of people voted for Donald Trump because, you know, a majority of them thought he was going to take things away from minorities and the DEI stuff. Now, think about this. Most of those firings are affecting you. Now, imagine you're seeing this. Oh, yeah, that guy should be gone for talking bad about, you know, saying anti-Semitic stuff. He said he was protesting for, you know, safety and peace in Gaza. Now, imagine this.
Kids.
What's going to happen when you and your family are affected by it? Huh? Do you think you're going to be immune to it? Because you haven't been immune from the price of eggs. You haven't been immune from the grocery prices. You haven't been immune for the gas prices going up. And you're sure not going to be immune from getting fired from your federal job. So you think you'll be immune from this? At the end of the day, we're American. We get to say whatever the fuck we want. Excuse my language. But when another nation, another country is allowed to dictate what you can and can't say in America, that's when you no longer have freedom of speech, and it won't stop here.
And that's why, you know, when your president is sold out to a foreign country, he's already shown you that he's sold out to Netanyahu. He's giving them whatever they want. What do you think they're giving him? Nothing? You think he's just doing this just out of the goodness of his heart? What does he do out of the goodness of his heart? He does. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know this guy. Let's be serious here. Let's be honest with ourselves where this is heading. But you guys think you're happy this is going on. But I see the writing on the wall. I look forward when I hear anything. People have come to me and say, you know, hey, this should happen to these people for this reason. And it sounds legitimate, whatever the case may be. But I look forward saying, what's going to happen after that? Because I know how far things can go. People like to, like I said, dip their toe in the water to see what happens. Are there piranha in that water? And if there's not, they're going to jump right in. And next thing you know, they're going to start shipping us out of here and arresting us for speaking our mind, for using our First Amendment rights.
Yes. And so they're saying that right now, a judge is slamming the brakes on Trump's administration's attempt to deport the Palestinian activists who helped lead Columbia University's 2024 student encampment. Let's see. They said the good news is we have to keep fighting, both to ensure that he is released and to protect free speech, says Jamie Brunrine, CEO of the Bend the Art Jewish Action. Keller was arrested Saturday night at a university-owned apartment by federal immigration authorities. And let's see, word of the judge's decision comes as protesters took to the street of Manhattan to demonstrate against Khalil's arrest. Demonstrators gathered at Foley Square to call for his release. The group of protesters then started marching through Lower Manhattan. Showed at least one protester. Video from Chopper 2 showed at least one protester being taken into custody. We're showing you that video now. And people, you watch out, because when you're watching other people get their, I mean, you being black, you guys watch our civil rights and all that shit get violated all the time. But now that you've seen that it's starting to happen to you, don't let this fool you. They're already banning words. They're already banning books. You know what I'm saying? This is America. Or actually, it was America.
Yeah, and you guys have been the party talking about, they're trying to ban everything. They're trying to censor everything. We see who's banning and censoring. This person has come out and said that we cannot speak our mind in our country because it's anti-Semitic. If we speak and say you've murdered 60 to 70,000 Palestinians, children, women, people who have nothing to do with your war, you know what you did. We all know what you did. People who paid attention know what you did.
They don't even have to defend their argument for it. They just say, hey, you're anti this, and you're supposed to shut up.
Yeah, but that doesn't work anymore. That doesn't work at all. Because in reality, they're trying to cut down on words. Why didn't they use that word? Why didn't they cut down on anti-Semitic? You cut down on black. You were good to do that, but you couldn't cut down on anti-Semitic because it cuts to the core of the people who are funding and financing what you have going on. That's why this is what it is. We understand it. We understand who AIPAC is. We understand that AIPAC runs America. They run Donald Trump. I mean, look at how it easily shows us what's going on when he's telling them, hey, get ready to go into Iran next. Hey, if Hamas doesn't do this, we're going to blow up everything. We're not giving back the Palestinians back their land. We can't say that. We can't tell you that this is wrong, but we're going to, because we're Americans and we're going to stand up for whatever it takes and do whatever it takes to make sure we keep our rights and whoever else comes in our country keeps theirs as well.
Well spoken. I got one here. Ontario says it will slap a 25 surcharge on U.S.-bound electricity. Canada's most popular province, Ontario, is slapping a retaliatory 25% surcharge on electricity it sends to the U.S. states in response to Donald Trump's tariffs on Canadian goods. Ontario leader Doug Ford confirmed the move in a news conference on Monday morning, saying it will increase costs by $10, 0.775 per megawatt hours for U.S. customers. Roughly 1.5 million American homes in the northern border states of New York, Michigan, and Minnesota will be impacted. Ford said that the surcharge on energy will remain until the threat of tariffs from the U.S. is gone for good. He said President Trump's tariffs are disastrous for the U.S. economy. They're making life more expensive for American families and businesses, Ford said in a statement on Monday.
Yeah, this is just, another shoe to drop from his disastrous short presidency. We see what's going on. You guys think let's let him cook. That's what my cousin says. Not to, and then other people are like, let's give him time to do what? Destroy the economy? You see, we're going to talk next segment about something else he's doing. But at the end of the day, man, now you're putting people's your first, you didn't lower the cost of anything that you told us you would. Now you're raising the cost of things just from you barking things that you really don't want to do. The tariffs, you really don't. Your whole administration is telling you this is a bad idea. That's why you keep putting it off.
They told him before he did it. They'd be like, no, if you do that, it's going to be bad for the economy. And people are like, yeah, tariffs, whatever. You know what's crazy? People aren't understanding it until it affects them. Just like with the eggs. They're like, hey, you said you're going to lower this? And he said, shut up.
Yeah, he's a clown, man. We haven't gotten to the point that we see that this guy is a clown. He doesn't take this seriously at all. He wants to do the tariffs because he said he wanted, because he said he was going to do it. It's not because it's a good idea. It's not because it's good for the economy. It's not because it does anything to help Americans right now. What is he going to force people to take our goods? What country can you force to say, we need to be on par. You need to buy more of our stuff. What can you force them to take? We have high cost goods here.
He thinks he thought he could bully people like he does in America. Because for him, it's easier to bully people when you have power over them. But the rest of the world is like, bro, we just won't deal with you. We don't have to. It may hurt a little bit, but we can go elsewhere. And in China, Russia, India, they'll just move on in and take that spot.
He's not a good businessman. He has never been a good businessman. It's always been, basically a game of cards.
He's a great salesman. I'll give him that. Because he sold y'all on that
dream. Hell out of y'all. You guys were good with it. You guys were happy, still applauding. I'm not hearing as much from my Republican counterparts as I used to hear. I used to hear a lot from MAGA Republican type people who are, or just even Donald Trump people. Let's just call you that, because most of you say, I'm not a Republican, but you are.
Well, they can't afford the internet anymore.
It's possible. With the prices that are going up, 1.5 million people will be affected by this. Households across the Northeast. You got that. That's also the Midwest. You got Michigan inside of it. I think he said Wisconsin as well.
Yes.
People who can hardly afford that kind of stuff, especially in the Midwest. That's not, they don't make as much money as you do when you're saying New York and other places like that. Depending on northern New York, Buffalo area, it's they don't make a lot of money like that either. So you have to really, so I'm assuming probably Ohio will probably be affected too. Who knows? But this is
what it's about. I have to cut you off. What's going to happen is they're going to raise that electricity on people. And then you're going to hear the people like, this is what I didn't vote for this. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say the same thing everyone else has been saying. Just like homeboy that we reported before they got arrested. Like, I thought he was going to get rid of all the criminals, not mess with me. See, the whole thing is with politics, what was nice about it is that no president would come in here and just destroy your life right away. You know what I'm saying? At least everybody, they would try to build, like I've said this before, you try to build better on what the last person did. Mm-hmm. He keeps tearing it down, thinking he's going to make a better deal. Look, we haven't even reported on it yet. He's trying to talk to Iran to make a nuclear deal. They already had one. It would have been advanced. Now they probably have a nuclear bomb. He got rid of it, and now he's trying to do it 8 years later. He's
just one of those people who wants to put his name on it. He wants to act like he did it, and so he can be applauded for it, so he can have the glory. It's just the weakest weak man syndrome thing you could possibly do. Y'all know he's a weak ass man. Real men know when they see another weak man. They know when they see a person who's a predator, or they know when they see a person who's prey. And he's really prey. He just pretends to be a predator. He's not that.
Well,
he's not. I'm not talking about in other forms. In other forms, I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about the killer. The killer that's inside of men. He plays tough. He's not tough. He'll send somebody else to go do it. He's soft. He's been soft forever. That's how
a mob boss works, yo.
Well, not really. They already put the work in. To get to where you got to get to in the mob, you got to put the work in first yourself.
Was that Italian?
He ain't put no work in himself. He got given everything. Soft as Charmin's. But stocks plunge as Trump refuses to rule out recession. Stocks fell sharply Monday amid growing economic uncertainty and persistent worries about President Donald Trump's tariffs policies. Wall Street's worst day of 2025 came a day after Trump refused to rule out a recession in an interview with Fox News. The S&P fell roughly 2.7% and is now down 9% from its record highs just 1 month ago. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped nearly 900 points, or approximately 2%, and the NASDAQ Composite had the worst day of the three major indexes, falling 4% in its worst day since mid-2022. Many big names suffered significant losses Monday, including many of the Magnificent Seven tech stocks that led the markets to new highs in recent years. Chipmaker NVIDIA fell 5% and is now down 30% in the last 2 months. Elon Musk's Tesla plunged a stunning 15%, the company's worst day since September 2020. They're coming after Elon. I think everyone's going after him. They understand who he thought he was, what he thought he was doing, and they're coming after him.
Elon, I told you, I've been saying it, bro. He got to go. You know, even hey, shout out to Steve that pays attention. He said the same thing. Elon got to go. He's an idiot. He's not stupid, but he doesn't know what he's doing. He's dismantling our country.
My cousin said the same thing. He said he thought that Elon would be out before the end of the year. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, same thing. Elon got to go. He's making Trump look stupid off tops. He doesn't know what he's doing. And like, it's going to take an act. I don't want to say it's going to take a very bad, something very bad is going to happen here in America. And they're going to be like, well, how did this happen? They'd be like, well, these regulations weren't there. These people weren't there to monitor it. Something that he got rid of is going to cause a chain reaction where like even they got rid of the NOAA. You know what I'm saying? Something major is going to happen where they're going to like, you know, a lot of Americans are going to have to die. And they're going to be like, you know what, Elon, it's time for you to go.
They're going to say DEI. They're going to say this. They're going to say whatever they say. This is just what they're going to do. And people in this country will push that narrative. I think the people who are actually awake in this country and woke in this country will actually see the truth. Because there's a lot of you guys that pretend to be like you think you're cognizant of what's going on, but you have no idea. You're listening to propaganda. I mean, I'm listening to these people feed you the propaganda and you just regurgitate it and it sounds ridiculous. Like, look at we just lost. I'm not sure how much it is now because I know yesterday it was like $3.3 trillion out of the market was gone. I'm sure this is another, who knows how many, $1 trillion more dollars out of the market gone. You know what I mean? This is like, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, when Biden left office, the market was higher than what it is now. When Biden left office, he left us with a good economy. He left us with a strong economy that could have been built upon. But this person came in here with wild theories, wild ways of doing business that don't make sense to anybody. I honestly think he did it on purpose. I think this is intentional. He's a mole sent here to destroy our economy, destroy our country, and divide us from within. We're already divided because you can see we vote the way we vote. We talk the way we talk.
That's not even the added worst part. Like, so we're about to go into recession, right?
Mm-hmm.
Measles is spreading across America like wildfire right now. When's the last time? Measles, my guys. Measles. Spreading like wildfire. The guy that runs everything, RFK, is saying, use vitamin A. Vitamin A will get rid. That's not what the scientists are telling you to do. Children have already died from measles. You know what I'm saying? It's already, now it's in Maryland. Now it's in Illinois. We have it here in Washington. It's in Texas, raging through the state. We are in a bad place. And then think about all the people. They fired the majority of the people from the CDC. You're out of the whole World Health Organization. In West, what do I keep saying? Watch what the summer's going to look like. Because think about it, right now, folks, April's coming up next month. And guess what? You're not going to have no eggs to be painting. You'll be like, oh, we'll paint potatoes. We'll overcome this.
First year I've ever heard of this before in my life.
Your life.
Never happened.
Think about it, bro. What's the summer going to hold? Usually the summer is a good time. You can go out there, make some money, enjoy your life. Ain't nobody gonna be out there.
I remember his first presidency. You guys were like, well, my 401k looks good. My retirement looks good. What is it looking like now compared to, what it was a few months ago, when you actually had a decent president, a month and a half ago, probably 2 months, whatever the case may be, when you had someone in office who actually had a steady but shaky old hand at the helm. He took care of business. We were good. It wasn't a perfect economy, but the world went through a recession that we really didn't touch us. It touched us as far as inflation, but that was government overspending from previous administrations. You know what I mean? This guy isn't doing anything. What has he done for the American people with all this? He's arresting people for freedom of speech. He's cratered the stock market already. He's threatened our southern neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, what has he done?
Almost shut down farm productions because there's no migrants there to get the crops and stuff. They're about to cut your Social Security and Medicaid. You know, they create entitlement programs, right? Check it out. Hold on. Entitlement programs. We all pay for that. Are there people that abuse the system, never worked a day in their life? Of course. You're going to find some of those, but we've all paid into this.
I mean, those are speaking of entitlement programs, Musk eyes Social Security and benefit programs for cuts while claiming widespread fraud. I think we got a video on this too.
Yeah. Here, you want to read the article and I'll play it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ready?
Yeah.
Elon Musk pushed debunked theories about Social Security on Monday while describing federal benefit programs as rife with fraud, suggesting they will be a primary target in his crusade to reduce government spending. The billionaire entrepreneur who is advising President Trump suggests that $500 billion to $700 billion in waste needed to be cut. Most of the federal spending is entitlements, Musk told Fox Business Network. That's the big one to eliminate. The comments on the popular program and other benefits provided to Americans could rattle politicians on both sides of the aisle as Musk works to downsize the federal government, especially as he already faces blowback for his chainsaw-wielding approach to laying off workers and slashing programs. Musk's estimate for the level of fraud and entitlements far outpaces figures from watchdogs like Social Security's Inspector General, who previously said that there was $71.8 billion in improper payments from fiscal year 2015 through 2022. That's less than 1% of benefits paid out during that time. Musk also said there were 20 million people who were definitely dead marked as alive in the Social Security database. However, the leader of the agency has rejected claims about widespread payments to dead people. And what I will say is that $71.8 billion is still a lot of money in improper payments. You know, I mean, I can see a program that large. He said still less than 1% of the payout. Could they do a better job in making sure that it cleaned it up? Absolutely. But 71.8 billion over, what was that, 7 years? I'm not saying it's a little bit of money.
That's a little bit of money compared to how much money they push out of it. That's a little bit of money.
I get it, but what I'm saying is if they could just save, I mean, it's a little bit of money in comparison to him trying to say he needs to cut 500 to 700 billion. I mean, that's probably every year. I mean, I wonder if it's every year that he needs to cut that out of the program, or he's talking about over a 10-year period of time, but it's probably every year he's looking to cut it. Because they need to save this money because they're about to give these tax cuts to the wealthy. This is why they're trying to play this role. In the clip that he said, he was like, basically, oh, this is the way the Democrats, when you play the clip, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's play it for the people right now and let them view it really quick.
The race report in entitlement spending, which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. That's the big one to eliminate. That's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $600-700 billion a year. That is also a mechanism by which the Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them to come here and then turning them into voters. Yes. So this is why the Democrats are so upset about the situation, because they're losing. If we turn off this gigantic money magnet for illegal immigrants, then they will leave, and they will lose voters.
I wonder if we turned off the money magnet of government subsidies to his businesses, would he leave? Because he's an illegal immigrant, as far as I'm concerned. On top of that, what he's trying to do is push a narrative, man.
Where it's everybody that's coming in there voting for Democrats are illegal aliens. I mean, people do come here. They can't get on the safety nets. I mean, when they went to New York, that's not what they were talking about. Like when the migrants came in there, they're giving them money, housing, all that stuff.
That's not Social Security. That's not anything.
No, that's not Social Security, Medicaid. That's just SNAP benefits. That's your Department of Social Human Services or whatever. But Elon Musk, think about it. He's like, hey, you know that thing you've been paying into for your whole life, ever since you got a job? We want to get rid of that. We're not going to give you back the money you paid into it, but we'll damn sure make sure no migrants get it. Be like, do it. Fuck my future.
And that's basically what he's trying
Excuse
to
my
convince you guys of. Wow, I want you guys to start watching your feeds. And I'm not sure if whoever talks politics on their feeds, watch your feeds and watch who kind of mimics what he says. It'll be a lot of people who are just like, when you start mimicking this right here, no longer listen to them, cut them out of your conversation, because they're people who are brain dead. They have no idea.
Probably bots.
I mean, I won't even say bots because it's real people. I don't hear real people saying this to me.
And I saw a thing today. I know it's off topic, bro, but I saw it today. It was like a lady, a girl, young woman, and she supposedly had Down syndrome, right? Mm-hmm. But they were like, and she leaned over and she popped up, and her boobie started bouncing. And I was like, damn, that Down syndrome girl is thick. So I looked through her profile, but I noticed it was an AI. It was all AI. You can tell by when the AI smiles, they don't have they do a wide smile. It was an AI, but it looked real as hell.
No, I know what you're talking about. I've seen some of those too. But the biggest thing though is like, these are people that I know. These people that I actually know, and they'll regurgitate this crap where he's trying to say that Social Security and Medicaid are around basically so that the Democrats can get illegal immigrants in here to vote for them. That's why they'll win the vote. So if you guys want to stop that, we need to get rid of all these entitlement programs. This dude is crazy, bro. If you fall for this from this dude who basically makes most of his money from government contracts or from subsidies, then something's wrong with you. He's not even from our country. First of all, you're not from here, so he does not care. What are we listening to him for? For what purpose?
The fact that he's even there. That's why Marco Rubio got him. He's like, bro, think about it. You put Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy in charge of this shit, right? And Vivek Ramaswamy, what did he do? As soon as he got the job, he came out and he insulted all European Americans. He said, your culture is, he insulted all of us because we all love Saved by the Bell. He said, your culture is trash. You know what I'm saying? And Elon Musk thought that too.
He said, you're dumb.
You're dumb. And
you're lazy.
You're lazy. You know what I'm saying?
You can't do the work. You're subtards. You use the other one too with the re. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
use all of them.
Elon Musk came out and he was like, of course I'm going to have foreign workers come over here. Y'all ain't smart enough to do these jobs.
MAGA people are dumb. You can't do it. He knows you're dumb. It's crazy that y'all sit here and y'all actually mimic this. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to put his whole entire, what he's called them dumb, and I'm putting it on my page.
Let's make some cut scenes, put it together.
I got to keep bringing that up because you guys keep on coming out defending him. He's saving us money. Where? He's about to cut your Social Security. He's about to cut your Medicaid, Medicare. He's about to probably cut into the VA like he's been doing. You act like he's here to save you guys, but he's not.
I'm going to call him by his witness protection name, Ellen Muskie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's not even American, man, and we're listening to him like he's rich. Yeah, I'm sure he is. Every government contract we give him, it keeps him in business. You just saw it. Go look at the 2008 interview, and when he talks about Starlink, he's like, I got $1.5 billion from Boeing. He's almost started crying. He was like, we're about to go under. We were basically didn't have no more money left. I'm not trying to not businesses like that sometimes.
Donald Trump
I
said
get
he
it.
Come and bend it. He would have kissed my feet if I told him to.
For the money. I mean, imagine whose feet he kissed over in China and what he's giving to them. You guys act like this is a game, but it's not. It's consistently the same thing, but I guarantee you guys are going to try to give away our Social Security. It's already over anyways. Who cares? Just don't let the migrants get it. I don't know. I know migrants pay into Social Security. They're not even eligible to get it. It's crazy. They paid like $96 billion into it. I think in the last fiscal year, they paid over $96 billion into it and cannot receive benefits from it at all.
Israel cuts electricity to the last facility in Gaza receiving Israeli power. Israel says it has cut the flow of electricity to the last facility in Gaza that was still receiving power from the Israel Electric Corporation. I just signed an order to immediate halt of electricity to the Gaza Strip, Israel Energy Minister Eli Cohen said in a statement, adding that the country would operate all of the tools that are at their disposal to ensure the return of all the hostages. Israel cut off electricity supplies to Gaza following the Hamas attack of October 7, 2023, in which more than 1,200 people were killed and 251 were taken hostage. But the Israeli Electric Corporation has since reconnected power to wastewater treatment facility following a government directive. A spokesperson for the ICE confirmed to CNN that today a directive was received to disconnect the electricity to the facility, and this was done. Israel's decision will intensify the enclave existing water crisis, with the cutoff severely impacting desolation efforts in local offices said. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now they have no food because they're not letting anything in there. They have no clean water, and they have no electricity.
Drive them out.
A lot of you people that sat there and you protest voted and you said, well, Biden's not doing enough. you can see the monsters that you've created now, because the Palestinians are ultimately gone after this. There's nothing coming good from this. You think they're not gonna rebuild it? They're not gonna cut their electricity back on after they get the hostages. They're not gonna give them clean water or give them food. They're going to starve them out, and you're gonna watch them all die as a genocide. But hey, you did a protest vote.
They're gonna make them. Yeah, you're right. They're gonna try to make them move. This is what they're trying to do. Make them move. This is what you do to people when you want them gone.
They're gonna kill them as they move. Remember, every time they told them to evacuate, go to here, they bombed them anyways. You know, they're gonna kill all these people, and the ones that do survive, there won't be such thing as a Palestinian. It'll be a lost tribe. You know what I'm saying? And like,
sad, man.
A lot of, and people in America are protesting. You see, now if you want to protest, you're going to get arrested for it. Were they arresting you last time when the last administration was in? No, last time you protested vote, we got this monster in the White House the first time, right? And he drove our economy into the dirt. You can say it was COVID, but a real leader would have stepped up and made sure something bad didn't happen.
Women's rights.
Because we were falling through COVID. And who saved us out of COVID? Joe Biden. Let's keep it 100, right? Joe Biden, the Democrats got it together. Hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And they got us back to living the lives that we're living so we can complain about it. You let them back in. And look, now the people and the Palestinians are all going to die. We're getting sick off measles. You can't afford eggs, groceries, gasoline. They're about to cut off electricity in America. This is what you want. And there's people in here, and you pay attention to those people posting, yeah, this is good. They don't love America. They love themselves.
Absolutely.
Because you want to watch, I never want to see the pain of other Americans, but some people love it. They live off it because that's the only thing they have left.
Self-hatred. They hate. It's a hate. It's really because most of you people are probably don't like your wife, don't like your life, don't want to go home. I'm just saying, this is just the truth. This is what they call themselves, the forgotten man. This is who I want to talk to. The people who call themselves, man, they just forgot about us. No, you forgot about yourself. Stand up and take accountability. Quit being what you call everyone else, a victim. That's what you've been acting. That's why you call yourself a forgotten man. I would never call myself the forgotten man because it's not anyone else's job to remember me. It's my job to take care of what I want in life. That's self-accountability. That's what people like me and you have been doing our entire lives, taking accountability for whatever comes our way. People who have melanin in their skin, some of them who don't, take accountability. Quit pretending to be a victim of something that you're not a victim of. You've been giving every opportunity to be far ahead of everyone else for years. Just because you didn't take advantage of it, you're mad at other people because they're asking for their shot now? Man.
Oh, no, Wes, they weren't forgotten. Now, you must understand this, folks. They done took all the money from the black folks and the Mexicans and whatever, right? So who else got money that they can bleed from? The rich people can take. It's your money. That's why you're feeling it now. It was always fun and games when they were doing it to everybody else and you ignored it. Even Democrats, bro, you ignored black folks in the way that they treated African Americans and Native Americans. Now look at you. How are you getting treated? I'm not even, at first I'm worried. Oh man, what is the country going to turn into? Wait. Just another day in the neighborhood.
Pretty much.
And that's what it is, folks. And it's Uncommon Courtesy. We're going to keep you up to date. We'll see you next time.
Keep the fight alive.